Welcome everybody to Local Leads. My name is Rich and I will be your host for another training video. Today we're going to cover troubleshooting your headset. Now, every once in a while people run across this error where they've logged in and jumped into Whitel 100 times, but for some reason this time when they put themselves on active and started taking phone calls, the headset just wasn't working. And a couple of key things that we're going to talk about are just basic troubleshooting, and then actually diving into the Chrome settings to reset them if we have to. So a couple of things really quickly to note about your headset. The first thing is, if somebody can't hear you, then the first thing you need to look for on your headset, or if you have a wired headset, so a USB headset, is if there is a mute button on the wire from your headset to your computer. A lot of them do, and so many people forget that that button is there. And so just make sure that that is not on mute for them to be able to hear you. Now, the other thing that's on a lot of headsets is volume, and making sure that the volume is, not all cranked all the way down where it's off, or not cranked too high. Those are the two most common issues. I know they sound very, very simple, but so many people call and say, "Hey, I can't hear anything," or they can't hear me, and sure enough, it's right on the wire to their headset. Now, the second thing that we're going to talk about is just basic troubleshooting. If you ever have an issue with a computer, basic troubleshooting, and almost any technical advisor is going to tell you to just go ahead and log out and restart. So the very first thing that we're going to have you do, if you are already logged into Whitel and your headset is not working, so let's go ahead, we logged into Whitel, and we attempted to take a phone call and it didn't work. The first thing that we want to do is to log out of Whitel. Okay, so not just clicking on the X button in the tab. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you log out. Logging out is what resets the settings on the server if that's the issue, but it also helps reset them in the browser. So go ahead and log out of the button here, and then click Exit. Okay. Now what it's going to do is it's going to bring you back to this screen. Whenever somebody has a error with their headset, we always tell them to shut down the browser as well. So the very first step is to always log out and then log back in. That would be the first step. The second step is going to be closing your browser. You always want to close your browser, or at least the tab. Close it and then reopen it right when you're finished, okay? So that way it refreshes the browser and brings up any new settings. Okay, so those are the very first two things. Now the third thing, let's say if those two things don't work, so you have you checked the wire for your mute and your volume buttons, so those are perfectly fine. You have logged out and logged back in to Whitel to make sure those were cleared. You closed the browser and then restarted it, so you closed Chrome completely. And one note, make sure you're in Chrome, not Firefox. But you close that. The next step is going to be restarting your computer. This is always the best case scenario. Usually when anybody's having a problem and they call us, the first thing I say is log out of everything, close everything down, restart your computer. Restarting your computer, guys, is one of the most effective ways to get rid of problems. And you really should be restarting it or shutting it down at least once every few days if you're full-time making phone calls, because there's a lot of pages you go through. So those three things. Now, let's go ahead and go back to what happens next. So we did all the basic troubleshooting, but the headset just still won't work. Okay. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to look inside of the Chrome settings on how to clear those. So one of the first things that we're going to troubleshoot is when you're brand new, so you are just logging in for the very first time, one of the things you need to do to make sure that Chrome connects to your headset is to click the Allow Microphone button. And I'm going to demonstrate exactly how that works, because so many people, the very first time that they log in, forget to do this or don't know they need to do it, and that causes a problem with their headset from that point forward. So when you go to Whitetail, you're going to click on Agent, you're going to put your information in, you're going to pick your campaign and log in. Now in just a second, a box is going to come up. And what you want to do is you don't want to click anything. So don't click anything while anything is happening until the little box pops up. So usually it comes up sometimes at 10 seconds. Other times you need to wait up to 30 seconds. Usually waiting up to 30 to 45 seconds is usually about how long it takes. And it's going to come up right about in this area somewhere. So we're just going to sit here and wait, and there it is. Web phone, allow to use your microphone, allow or block. Make sure you click the allow button, because now now we're going to be able to actually log in and take phone calls from that point forward when you do that. Now, let's say, the reason I disconnected is so that you guys could hear me through this webinar. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to, what happens if that doesn't work? Let's say that we've logged in 100 times and it's just not working. We've logged out of Whitetail, we've closed down our browser, we've restarted a computer. So what do we need to do? So the next step that we need to do is we need to go into the Chrome settings. Okay, so this is kind of more advanced troubleshooting, I might say. It's not super advanced, but it's a little bit more advanced than the basic stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the end of our address bar and these three little dots, and we're going to go down here to Settings. Now, when we open up the Settings tab, what we're looking for is Advanced Settings. So we go down here to Show Advanced Settings, and then we're going to look for Privacy and Content Settings. We're going to click on Content Settings, and we're going to scroll down until we find microphone or headset. Now, what we're looking for in microphone or headset, so we scroll down, as you can see right now, if we drop this menu down, there's a couple of different options. There's the default, there's a communications, and then there's your actual headset. Your headset, if it is plugged in, should be listed here. Some headsets, every once in a while, are not, and we would pick default. But 9 times out of 10, you need to pick the headset right here. Okay. Now, the other portion that we're looking for is to ask when the site requires access to the phone. That's what that little pop-up box, when we were on this screen right here, and it popped up in the top, that's what it means. Ask when a website needs to use your microphone. Okay, so we want it to do that. Now, the other last portion we're going to talk about really quickly is in the Manage Exceptions folder. As you can see right here, there's a couple of different websites that are allowed currently. And what we want to do is we want to go to Whitetail and we want to get rid of it. Okay, and I know that sounds silly, like why would we get rid of it if we're trying to fix it? Well, what we were trying to do is force reset Chrome to talk to our headset in a sense. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to find Whitetail, we want to get rid of it, and then we want to click Done. And what we're going to want to do after that is we go back to Done, we go back out here and we close Settings, we close the browser down, and then we're going to go ahead and restart the browser one more time. So close it completely down and then go back and log in again. And what it's going to do is when we log in one more time, it's going to ask us to allow the Chrome to use our microphone. So if we just log in one more time, we're going to see, just like the very first time we logged in, it's going to ask us if it can use our microphone. And that's when we're going to say yes, click allow, and then we're going to be done, and it should work. So those are really the basic steps of troubleshooting. So we go through the basic stuff of closing your browser, logging out, resetting your computer. See, there you go. You click allow, and we're ready to go. So those are the basic steps. So we went through the basic stuff. We went through a little bit of the advanced things. Again, if you guys ever have a problem, you can tune into our conference calls. You have email access, affiliates at local leads. .us. Or you can always talk to us on our conference calls, 6:45 every day. That is a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Other than that, if you guys have any other questions, give us a call, or we will see you in the next video.